Back here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. Before we go any further, 10 seconds for identification on the Clemson Athletic Network. Now that order of business is out of the way. The lefty, Talon Bell, on the hill going through his warm-up tosses.
Number 96, Talon Bell, left-hander, 5'10", 185-pound sophomore from Oviedo, Florida. Talon coming in, making his 4th appearance of the season, his 4 starts. He has 9 innings of work. He's given up 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned. Just 1 walk to 7 strikeouts. Opponents batting .226 on the season. Has not earned a win or a loss so far. And an earned average of 4.00. Left-hander Talon Bell.
So I think what we heard was that Daly has been taken down.
Or Gerald.
Was it Gerald's been taken down?
I think it was Gerald.
Okay. So they're going to move they'll move Daly up, Dillard up, and they're going to put Fultz in the 8 hole as the DH. Is that right? I think that's what I got. Well, yeah.
We can confirm.
Yeah, just got confirmed on our stat monitor.
There you go.
So it is in due. So we'll make changes as we go through. So A.J. Giliano will step in to lead things off. Left fielder for LaSalle, and the first pitch is a called strike. We're underway. 0-1. So first pitch thrown here at 1:02 this afternoon. Giliano 158 in the year, no home runs and a couple of RBIs. And the 0-1 to the righty, high and outside. 1-1 the count. Giliano in this series gone 1 for 5 with a couple of runs scored, however. Takes the 1-1 for a strike. 1-2 the count.
A nice job by Talon, just continuing to pound the strike zone. He's hitting that goal. We're trying to get to 2 strikes within the first 3 pitches. So see if we can't keep this going.
69 or now 70 degrees here at Doug Kingsmore as we start. The 1-2 misses away. It's 2-2. Wind blowing in from center field and blowing in pretty good. Actually,
yeah, definitely a good gust. I didn't see exactly what the miles per hour was, but coming straight in, pretty much a little bit out to right.
2-2 from Bell. That is roped on 1 hop to Purify. He backed up a step on the grass, but fields and fires over to Gaffney at first. The 4-3 put out and 1 away. That ball was tagged.
Yeah, nice job by Jaron to just get, you don't want to let the ball play you. You want to try to make sure you get in position, and he did that. Like you said, the ball was hit sharply on the line, and nice job collecting himself and getting that leadoff guy out.
So here's Chase Swain, the center fielder. 352 on the year, no home runs, 13 RBIs. Bell, the lefty, delivers to the righty, and he swings and fouls it off to the netting over by the dugout first base side. 0-1 the count to Swain. Swain, 4 for 11 in the 3 games so far. A home run and RBI, has scored 3 times, struck out twice. One from Bell that come inside and just miss. 1-1 the count to Swain.
Yeah, pitch didn't miss by much for sure. Just another good fastball right on the inside part of the plate. That's the Clemson pitching staff. We're going to start to see some drizzle, I believe.
I believe we already have, because fans are beginning to move. The 1-1 pitch, that's in the air to right, and backing the right fielder, looking up. That ball's out of here, the opposite way into that breeze. Took it just to the right of the 365 sign in right center field. So Swain belts his first home run of the season. Picks up his 14th RBI, and 2 batters in, it's 1-0 LaSalle.
Yeah, we talked about him before the game. Definitely a good athlete, could play anywhere. So he's sitting in that 2 hole for a reason.
It's me. I didn't have the doubleheader yesterday, and that was exactly what happened in game 1.
That's right. This is
yeah.
I'll take the results of game one. So even though they scored first, that is a game goal. One of our game goals is to score first. So we're not going to get that one, but we can rebound.
1-0, and here's a hot shot drive to center field, backing McClatty. He's going to stop shy of the terrace, now come in and make the grab. Wind really knocked that ball down.
Yeah, that ball was actually hit harder than the one of Swain. That ball's hit 106 miles an hour off the bat, and Swain's was 104, but too loud balls there, but thankfully that one stayed in the ballpark.
Wind just ate that one up, and so with 2 down, here's Ryan Perez, the DH. 267 on the year, a couple home runs, 9 RBIs. Looks like they'll put not the exaggerated shift, but Lichtenberger at short, going to play up the middle, third base side of second, as the first pitch to Perez is fouled off and to play third base side. 0-1.
We know this LaSalle team's going to do this. They're going up there. They're going to be aggressive. Get a pitch they can handle.
First, and the 0-1 pitch to Perez in the air to left. Jackson Moore coming on, dives, can't make the grab. The wind got that one, kind of blowing it away from him. Going into second, sliding in there is going to be Perez. I think they're going to rule that a hit.
Yeah, you could tell he was a little bit mixed up with it. The ball wasn't hit very sharply off the bat, only 79 miles an hour, but between the wind and the kind of the cut, the tail that that ball had on it, the ball will find you out there. Jackson Moore's first start and getting some action in the first inning. Let's hope that doesn't cost us.
It could be a double. So a 2-out double. Already a run in on the solo home run by Swains. And here is Alec Welshons, the first baseman. 268 in the year, 5 home runs, 14 RBIs to the big right-handed hitter. Start him off with a breaking ball strike, an 0-1.
Welshons leads the team in home runs.
Yep. Welshons in this series gone 2 for 10. One of his base hits a double, does have an RBI. Throw back to second. That one almost sailed into center field. Purify had to come shortstop side of second base and make a lunging effort at it to keep it from going into center field.
Yeah, there's not many second basemen in the country that can make that play. That's just the pure athleticism from Jaron Purify, but don't want to give up a free 90.
0-1 delivery, that's low. A ball and a strike to Welshons. Big kid. They list him 6'2", 210, a senior from Dillsboro, PA. One pitch, swing and a miss. Threw that breaking ball in and on the hands. Got him to chase it 1-2.
Yeah, that's a nice breaking ball from the left-hander. Talonville just diving back at the back foot of the righty. It's a really good pitch there, and see if we can finish this off.
So 1-2 to Welshons. 2 outs, runner at second. Run in, 1-0, and a swing and a foul back. Out of play. We'll do the 1-2 again.
She had a foul ball yesterday get underneath the awning here. It was on the other side, but got to be heads up.
Really, it came underneath
it was
the roof line?
Down at the very end of the press box.
Wow.
So it's hard to do.
The 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him. But the solo home run by Swain, 1 of 2 hits. No errors, a man left there for LaSalle, top of 1. They lead it 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the first. Don't forget that Prisma Health, proud to be the official team physicians for the Clemson Tigers. To learn more, visit prismahealth.org/Tigers. Bottom of the first comes your way after this on the Clemson Athletic Network. 1-0 in favor of LaSalle as we'll go to the bottom of the first, and the righty Ryan Brown on the hill going through his warm-up tosses.
Yeah, the right-hander number 29, Ryan Brown, 5'9", 200-pound sophomore out of Great Mills, Maryland. Brown coming in, making his third appearance of the season and third start. Has 7 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 7 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 6 walks to 8 strikeouts. Has no decisions on the season, and earned an average of 4.70 for Ryan Brown.
So Purify, McClatty, and Savoy due up for Clemson. Don't forget that passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola, now that's a winning combo. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. So Purify steps in. 357 on the year, a home run, 7 RBIs, 6 for 10 at the plate. In the 3 games so far against LaSalle, 7 runs scored. Has 2 doubles, a home run, and 3 RBIs. The first pitch to Purify. That misses up and in with a fastball. 1-0. Jaron's also drawn 4 walks. Only struck out once. 3 for 3 in stolen bases. Pretty good line.
That's what you like out your leadoff guy.
1-0 pitch. And misses low and in. 2-0 to Purify.
Yeah, these Tiger hitters just doing a nice job being patient really all week. You know, they've fouled them, foul pitches off when they get 2 strikes on them, keep their at bat alive and find a way to make something happen.
And 27 walks through 3 games. The 2-0 pitch, up and in, 3-0.
Probably the better fastball we've seen all weekend. Fastball at 91 miles an hour.
So the green light Purify 3-0. I wouldn't think so.
Maybe not here in the first, but see if he can't find a way on board.
3-1 pitch. That's ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Purify.
Another good take there. Fastball just missing on the inside part of the plate, but a really good plate discipline. That's one of the, I think, the strengths of this team too, just the plate discipline, being able to understand the strike zone, and that's what is a good sign of a good hitter.
And the Friday night game, remember, LaSalle scored a run. Clemson came back 4 in the bottom of the first. And in each of the games yesterday, Clemson scored a run in the first inning. A run in the game 1 and then 3 in game 2. Here's McClatty. 392 on the year, 5 home runs, 19 RBIs, and the first pitch to McClatty is outside. That's 5 straight out of the strike zone by Ryan Brown to start things out there on the hill. McClatty in this series is 4 for 9, 7 runs scored, a home run, 5 RBIs, 5 walks, no strikeouts, 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Throw over to first, and Purify will dive back safely.
Purify likes to put pressure on him out there on the base paths, and just got to be smart.
Throw over again, and Purify goes diving back to the bag safely.
A little closer play there. It's a pretty good move from Brown, actually. So.
The pitch, and misses high and away.
First breaking ball we've seen.
Yeah. Still 6 straight out of the zone, though.
Trying to backdoor the breaking ball. Hey, when you're throwing 5 straight and try to mix it up, try to find the feel for something. But nice job by McClatty, and these Clemson hitters just continuing to be patient.
Throw over to first. That one a little bit closer, but Purify diving back to the bag safely. Sliding gloves on both hands.
That's right. We've seen 14 different LaSalle pitchers coming into this ball game. So Brown being the 15th pitcher on the weekend that's seen action for LaSalle.
2-0 delivery. There's a strike, 2-1. 1-0 LaSalle leads it. A solo homer by the center fielder Chase Swain with 1 out. Top of 1 got them on the board. Throw over to first, and that one skips by the first baseman. And then it bounds back to him pretty nicely. Purify on his way to second, and the throw skips by the shortstop and into left field, but backed up by the left fielder.
Again, that's just a testament to putting pressure on these pitchers and pressure on the defense, making a play. Actually caught a break. You know, just the hustle by Jaron Purify. The ball kind of trampolined back off the dugout railing netting right back to Welshins there at first base. So Tigers taking advantage of it.
It's an E1. Move Purify to second. And the 2-1 pitch in the air to left. Left fielder Giuliano will settle underneath that one and make the grab. One away. That was in the air for a long time.
Yeah, he had to keep his feet moving a bit too. Just that wind just kind of pushing it around.
So here's Nate Savoy catching here today. Savoy on the season .393, 4 home runs, 19 RBI. 19 RBI tied with McClatty for the team lead. Brown will turn and soft toss it to second with his second baseman Perez takes it as Purify just steps back to the bag.
Saw Nate drive in a couple yesterday in the first inning, so runner in scoring position. See if he can get a good pitch to hit and do some damage with it.
First pitch to Savoy. That misses in. 1-0.
Yeah, that pitch didn't miss by much. However, you know, Brown having trouble finding the zone early, so until you can show and prove to the umpire that you can consistently pitch on the inside part of the plate there and around the zone, might not get that call.
Yeah, the throw back to second. It short hops the second baseman Perez, but he's able to stay in front of it as Purify goes diving back to the bag. So Purify's definitely drawn the interest of Brown ever since he walked to start the bottom of the first. 1-0 to Savoy. Good swing, but a foul straight back. 1-1.
I think Nate would like to have that swing back. That ball is middle cut, and he took a big hack. And I think sometimes you have to remind yourself you don't have to hit a home run in this situation. A base hit's going to score Purify. The outfield's playing pretty deep, all 3 of them. So just try to find a way to manufacture a run.
1-1 offering. Breaking ball for a strike. 1-2.
I don't mind the take there either. Again, he hasn't had success throwing that pitch for a strike, so until you can make him prove that he's going to throw it for a strike, now he's in a 2-strike count and going to have to battle.
Purify leading from second with 1 out. 1-0 LaSalle here, bottom of 1. 1-2 pitch, check swing, and popped it up. Did that hit him? I think it actually hit him. No swing.
Yeah, hit by a pitch.
Hit by a pitch, yep. I thought it went off the nub of the bat.
Yeah, heck of an effort by Ryan Brown, the
no doubt
starting pitcher. He came flying off the mound, fully extended and laid out, trying to make a play. There is no replay today.
Yep.
It's the last ball game of the year. It's a 1-camera broadcast, just with all the different activities going on campus. Shout out to the video team as well. Just
let me tell you, Rick Bagby and his staff.
They're not just double dipping. They've got all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah, they were basketball, baseball, softball yesterday, lacrosse, baseball, softball today. You can only get so much done. Here's Gaffney stepping in now. Runners first and second, 1 out. Luke on the year, .380, couple home runs, 13 RBI. And Brown will step off.
That's going to be a reset, so that's his 1 reset. We actually saw a pitcher get I about said shot clock violation. Essentially, it's what it is, a little pitch clock violation. So,
you know what? He was missing his earpiece. Did you see that? He came out front of the mound about 10, 12 feet out front of the mound and found his earpiece and stuck it back in. How about that?
No wonder he couldn't get the sign, right?
And when he went diving for the ball,
yeah,
jarred it loose.
We're getting a little bit more drizzle on the ground too, so make sure ground's going to be a little bit more slick than normal.
First pitch to Gaffney. There go the runners, and the throw's going to go to second. Purify steals third. The throw skips by the second baseman in the center field, and Purify will score to tie us at 1. So a double steal, and then the E2 will allow Purify to score.
Yeah, great hustle all the way around right there. Jaron Purify and Nate Savoy. I don't mind the back pick there. I like the trying to target the second runner there, and almost makes you wonder too, Don, just being a little bit slick out there. If that ball might have took a little bit different hop in there, but Tigers taking advantage and they're answering. They got this thing tied up.
Savoy at second now in a 1-1 game, and Gaffney will foul it off sharply. First base side over the stands, 0-1. So again, speed just causes problems.
Yeah, you putting pressure on the defense, make them make a play, and that's the way that Coach Eric Bakich is going to run this ball club and put pressure on them.
Pitch high and outside as Savoy was dancing around there at second base. 1-1.
I think Novak, too, the catcher here for LaSalle, I think he knew that if it was a double steal, he already had it set. He was going to go after Savoy there to second base.
1-2 pitch. Tried that hard breaking pitch and misses outside. 2-2.
That was a nice job by Gaffney with 2 strikes. You're in a 2-strike approach, but nice job just seeing that pitch down.
So the second baseman Perez is cheating up the middle, still first base side of second, and it opens up a big hole right side should Gaffney elect to go that way. 2-2 from Brown is hit right back up the middle, hit the mound and shot right to the second baseman, and will throw over to first. The 4-3 put out of Gaffney on the play. Savoy will move to third. Well, the mound was in the right spot for Perez.
It was actually a tough break because I think Perez actually went to try to get a pickoff there at second base and just never retreated back to his position. But sometimes the ball doesn't roll in your favor, and that would have been a base hit up the middle easily and could have easily scored Savoy.
So here's Lichtenberger, the shortstop, and the lefty takes a first pitch outside, ball 1.
See if we can't get one of my favorite things, a little 2-out RBI. I'm not sure if we had one of those yesterday in the big win in the second game.
The 16-4 win. 1-0 delivery, high and away again, 2-0.
So Jay Dillard come up with a big 2-out RBI in that first game, and actually the last 2 runs that were scored thanks to Jay, and ended up being the difference in the game.
To Lichtenberger, in for a strike, 2-1.
It's a good 2-0 take there. That fastball is right on the outside part of the plate and having trouble with the command, and it's not a pitch you can do damage with, so it's a good take.
Two-one pitch, wrap. First baseman dives, comes up with it, flips to his pitcher covering. The race is on to the bag. He's safe. Scoring from third is Savoy, and the speed of Lichtenberger able to beat Brown to the bag. It was a great play by Welshons to keep the ball on the infield. Brown just couldn't get to the bag ahead of Lichtenberger.
Yeah, just an absolutely great hustle by Lichtenberger, because that was the difference in a run or not, right?
Right.
Get 2 outs, and that counts as a 2-out RBI and a bang-bang play there at first base, but Welshons made a heck of a play, and even Brown getting over there and making an athletic play to make it close, but that's why you run hard and hustle.
It's the first hit of the game for Clemson will be an infield single.
Let's remember, put a star by that one. Let's hope it's not a difference in this game, but that's how you separate yourself.
So here is Jay Dillard in the start at third today. Dillard 385 in the year, a home run, 7 RBIs. There goes the runner from first. The throw down again. Short hops Perez, skips off his glove, but backed up by the shortstop, Sisterwicki. So that'll be a stolen base for Lichtenberger. Already 3 stolen bases here in the bottom of the first for Clemson. A couple of runs, leading it 2-1.
I love the steal right there by Lichtenberger. Get that runner in the scoring position, being aggressive with 2 outs, and Let's see if Jay Dillard can keep doing what Jay's been doing. How about the week he's had?
No doubt. Started Wednesday over in Greenville against Michigan State. Here's a fly ball to right. The right fielder slips, picks himself up, though, and makes the grab. Groen went to the turf. The wind may have helped him a little bit there to hold that ball right there in place. So Dillard flies out to right to end the inning. But Clemson scores 2. They only do it on a hit. There were 2 errors, and there was a man left. 2-1 after 1 here at Doug Kingsmore. Tiger fans, if you've not downloaded the official Clemson Tigers app, you need to do so. You'll find it in the App Store. It's not only where you can download your tickets, but your one-stop shop for following the Tigers. You can listen to our broadcast, keep track of the latest scores, find rewards from our partners, and so much more. The Clemson Tiger app, download today. Off to the second we go. 2-1 Clemson over LaSalle. Back after this on the Clemson Athletic Network. Back here at Doug Kingsmore, we'll go off to the second. 2-1 in favor of Clemson over LaSalle. Don Munson, Brad Owens with you. Hey, what's the best part about being at a Clemson baseball game live? We'll see an entire stadium completely decked out in orange. Let your true colors show. Score tickets today at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Clemson Tigers. So now, due up is Zestawicki, Novak, and Rue. As a first pitch to Justin Zestawicki, the shortstop, in for a strike. 0-1. Zestawicki 209, no home runs, 8 RBIs for him on the season. Bell winds in the 0-1 pitch. That misses high. A little outside. 1-1.
Talon doing a nice job coming right back out and trying to fill up the strike zone. His offense went out and got those 2 runs for him, get him back on top.
1-1 pitch, breaking ball in, that misses. 2-1.
Coach Beck has challenged these guys again just this morning, like, hey, you never know what's going to happen with the weather. We've already played 3 games the last 2 days, but both teams have played the same amount of innings, so you better bring the energy and try to bring it every time.
2-1 pitch, that misses low. 3-1.
Hopefully we don't get there, Don, but it could be a situation today where obviously with the weather still trying to make its mind up of what it wants to do, and if you get to 5 innings, the game is complete.
3-1 pitch, swung on and fouled back, straight back over our heads. 3-2 now the count to Zestawicki. Leadoff man for LaSalle here in the second, with Clemson leading at 2-1. The wind and the 3-2 offering. Chopper foul, third base side. Not the best of swings there by Zestawicki, but got a piece of it.
Yeah, he kept his at-bat alive. We've seen that a lot from both teams. LaSalle doing a nice job, and that's a 3-2 breaking ball there, and that's what Jimmy Bellinger likes to do. He challenged these guys any pitch, anywhere, anytime.
Again, the payoff pitch missed outside as he went fastball, kept tailing away from the righty.
You can see Talon frustrated with himself there. Just leadoff walk is not what you want after your team's gone out and got you 2 runs to get you back on top.
It's only the second walk that Bell's given up this season. The first walk here to in the contest. So the leadoff man aboard for LaSalle here in the top of the second. Here's Jaden Novak, catcher. Right-handed hitter. He's right on top of the plate. And he swings and lifts a fly ball to center. McClatty will bat. He'll have plenty of room, though. Comes in now and makes the grab. 1 away.
Nice job by Talon. One pitch right there, responding, getting a quick out. He's the competitor in Talon Bell. Even though when things don't go his way, he's going to find a way to get the next man.
So here's Austin Rue, the third baseman. 167 on the year, no home runs, an RBI. Rue just 1 for 9 in this series. His one base hit, though, was a double. First pitch to Rue, that's up and into the righty. 1-0. Bell checks that runner at first, and his 1-0 pitch to Rue swung on, fouled third base side. 1-1 the count.
Good fastball down in the zone.
Rue's double came in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday. A 6-4 Clemson win, and they won the second game 16-4 in 7. Rue shortens, shows bunt. Took a pitch inside. Did he offer? They appealed to first to see if he did. He did not. 2-1.
It was close. He almost offered at it. First base umpire Mike Jarbo said he did not. First time we've seen, you don't normally see all 4 umpires have a turn behind the plate, but with the 4-game set, everybody getting a turn.
Throw over to first. Diving back safely there will be Zestawicki. This is a club that does like to run. LaSalle 34 of 37 in stolen bases on the year. Zestawicki 3 for 3. Bluff's going. There's a high fly ball to left. That is trouble. Left fielder Moore at the wall. Watches this one sail well out of here. Rue just crushed one to left. 3-2 LaSalle.
Well, we said it before. This LaSalle team, they're not going anywhere. He got a ball over the middle part of the plate, and that was a no-doubter. He was fired up.
So a second home run in the game, a solo home run for Swain in the first, and now a 2-run shot for Rue here in the top of the second. And LaSalle leads at 3-2. Savoy will go out to the mound and talk it over with Talon Bell.
We talk about this all the time as a coaching staff. We try to relay it to the players. They're gonna, good teams, they're gonna punch you right back. You're gonna exchange some punches, but go out there and is this a pinch hitter? No.
No, it's Daniel Perez, the second baseman.
I think the umpire
faked this out a little bit.
Signaled something.
Yep. First pitch to the lefty, Perez in for a strike. 0-1.
Coach Backage said it. Again, both teams played the same amount of innings. You're going to have to bring it every pitch.
0-1. Misses inside to Perez. A ball and a strike.
That's what happens. You get that leadoff walk. Comes around to bite you.
1-1 from Bell. Missed outside, skips off the glove of Savoy all the way to the backstop. 2-1. The 1-out 2-run homer by Austin Rue has given LaSalle a 3-2 lead over Clemson here, top of the second. 2-1 from Bell. Breaking ball outside, check swing. They appealed to third. He did not go. 3-1. Nobody throwing right now in the Clemson bullpen.
See if Talon can settle down here, keep his composure, and just keep battling.
3-1 pitch. Missed high. Went fastball.
Second walk of the inning.
Second walk in the inning and a 2-run homer. See, that draws a visit from Jimmy Bellinger. And it will. It's the pitching coach for Clemson on his way to the mound to talk it over with pitcher, catcher, and infield. Hey, live music is coming to Jervey Meadows this spring, taking place on April the 11th. The show is headlined by Jake Owen, Congress the Band, and Jet Juergensmeyer. Clemson baseball program serving as an opening act. on April the 11th before the trio of artists hit the stage, as the baseball team will play host to North Carolina at 2 p.m. that day at Doug Kingsmore Stadium. If you need more information, just go to ClemsonTigers.com. It's the first time that I can remember. I know the stadium here has been used for concert events, but the first time I can remember that Jervey Meadows, the grass area, parking area behind everything, behind McWhorter and the baseball stadium here, being used as a concert venue. It'd be interesting to see how that goes.
Yeah, I think it's, I'm excited to see it. You know, I actually attended one up in the old Y Beach, the old fields they used to have up there before they've, you know, kind of retrofitted it. So I think the stage is going to kind of be back on the north side of Jervey Meadows.
Throw over to first, and stepping back to the bag will be Giuliana, or excuse me, it's Perez. Giuliana at the dish. He grounded out to second to start this game. Hit one sharply on one hop to Purify. Squares shows bunt, pitches way outside though. Backhanded by Savoy, 1-0.
Might get some guys stretching out down in the Tiger bullpen. Maybe Dion Brown, haven't seen him yet this weekend.
1-0 the count. Bell's 1-0 pitch. And misses inside, 2-0.
Again, that ball didn't miss by Mitch, but just missed by much. But just like Ryan Brown for LaSalle, you know, having trouble finding the strike zone at times, and if you're bouncing around, you're not going to always get that call.
Hitter's pitch here. The 2-0 delivery, low in the zone, 3-0. The two-run homer by Rue seems to have gotten between the ears of Talon Bell. Gave up a walk on 5 pitches, and here he's behind in the count, 3-0.
Now that defense worked behind him.
3-0 pitch, misses inside, walks him on 4 straight. So the third walk in the inning. Runners first and second, 1 out. And Chase Swain, who homered to right center his last time up, just to the right of the 365 sign in right center.
I see Jaron Purify go over and talk to Talon. Jaron's one of our 4 captains on this ball club, and just continuing to encourage him, stick behind him, and say, hey, let this good defense behind you. Roll us up a ground ball here.
And the first pitch to Swain, there's a called strike. That was framed well by Savoy right there in the bottom of the zone, 0-1.
Nice pitch.
Throw back to second. Purify takes the throw, but stepping back to the bag safely is Daniel Perez. The 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, hard breaking ball inside. Check swing, they appeal to first, see if he win. He did not. Good block by Savoy, 1-1.
And a really nice job by Nate Savoy, just getting his body over, keeping that ball in front of him. And last thing you want to do is let a wild pitch move these runners up 90 feet.
The 1-1 swung on, foul to the screen, 1-2.
Seeing that drizzle continue to come down.
Yeah, it's just kind of been a light mist here for about an inning now. The 1-2 pitch misses low. Came back with a breaking ball. 2-2. Righty throwing in the Clemson bullpen. It's Brown, right? Yep. Runners lead from first and second with 1 out. 2 runs in for LaSalle here in the top of the second. They lead at 3-2. And a 2-2 offering swung on and tapped foul third base side. That'll make the end of the dugout.
That's what LaSalle does. Obviously, Swain, really good player. We've talked about him all weekend, and just continuing to foul off pitches to Try to get a pitch he can handle.
If you're with us in pregame, Backich said this kid could play anywhere.
Yeah,
really
no
likes him.
doubt.
The 2-2 again. That's tap foul, third base side.
We saw a lot of those the first game yesterday. Just a couple swinging bunts and infield singles that actually against Danny Nelson had some tough luck, but he battled through it. So.
Swain started at LaSalle, then they closed down the program. He was at West Virginia last year, I believe, and then back to LaSalle here under David Miller. The 2-2 swing and just got a piece of the breaking ball as it goes to the backstop.
Swain from Elsinboro, New Jersey. Elsinboro, New Jersey. He's a senior. Listed as a utility player. I'd say that's about right.
Do a little bit of everything for you.
I haven't seen him pitch yet, but I wouldn't put it past him.
Again, the 2-2, and that is lined. Short hop by Purify. He'll flip to Lichtenberger at second for one. On to first. Double play. 4-6-3. The runners had to freeze. See what that was going to do, and it's short hop. Purify is able to pick it to begin the 4-6-3 double play. Pitcher's best friend there to get out of what looked like was going to be a bigger jam. But 2-run score for LaSalle there in the top of the second. They lead it by a score of 3-2 as we go to the bottom half here on the Clemson Athletic Network. 3-2, LaSalle leads our Clemson Tigers as well. Go to the bottom of the second. Along with Brad Owens, Don Munson, glad to have you with us here on this Sunday. Due up for Clemson, it'll be the bottom third of the order. Daly, Fultz, and Moore. Ryan Brown will stay out there on the hill to start his second inning of work. 2 runs scored against him in the first, one of which was earned.
See if the Tigers can respond again. We saw it in the first inning. We got down 1-0. Came out and scored 2 runs, really on 1 hit.
Daly, 244 in the year, a home run, 10 RBIs. Left-handed hitter, and the first pitch going to miss high. Ball 1. Daly in this series 1 for 8 with a run scored. Has 3 RBIs though, has a couple of walks. 2 sac flies in this series for Daly. 1-0 pitch, big cut, came up empty. 1-1.
Yeah, got a fastball, middle part of the zone, up in the zone, and we've seen some of those cuts before. See if he can be a leadoff guy right here, right mentality, and find a way to start an inning. We saw Jaron Purify do that in the first and come around and score.
1-1 pitch, fouled off over the stands third base side. 1-2.
Another good pitch to hit.
La Crosse out in front of Notre Dame, 11-7.
Oh, that.
They're in the 4th period, 12:37 to go.
The competition in women's lacrosse in the ACC. Ooh.
Yeah, really stout. The 1-2 missing low. It's 2-2 now to Daly.
I'm still learning women's lacrosse.
The newly named Conklin Field.
How about that?
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a better setting and
Oh no, it's spectacular.
all of women's across.
Right there on the lake.
No doubt.
2-2, that is wrapped right to the shortstop. Zestawicki makes the stab, 1 away.
Yeah, tough luck there. That ball was smoked 106 miles an hour off the bat. He did a nice job. I think that's we've seen Ty Daly really do a good job of going with that pitch, and it's right at the line, the shortstop.
So here is Fultz. He was a late addition to the lineup. So they scratched Jacob Jarrell at DH and put Fultz in, moved him to the 8 hole. The first pitch to Fultz, a breaking ball low, ball 1. Fultz 4 at-bats, a start in this series, gone 0 for 4, a walk, and has been hit by a pitch. (1-0) in for a strike, 1-1.
Good take by Jason there, just seeing that breaking ball on the outside part of the plate. Make him throw it for a strike.
1-1 pitch. That misses in, kept tailing into the righty.
Ball almost hit him. I saw Jason after the game yesterday. He got hit by a pitch or two, and man, he has been a magnet lately, but tough of a kid as he is, and he doesn't mind it. He'll take his free 90.
He's wearing the elbow armor on that left elbow. So pitch misses outside to him. Looked like it went breaking ball, 3-1.
Yeah, tried to go back with that slider.
Actually sat down a couple of games because he took one to that left elbow, and it was bothering him pretty good. So they sat him down for a little bit. (3-1) pitch. That's ball 4, missed low.
Yeah, that's a good take as well. Nice job by the Tigers continuing to be patient and disciplined at the plate.
So the second walk given up by Ryan Brown. He's also hit one, only given up 1 base hit. That was an infield single, and actually plated a run
Tigers,
for Clemson.
Yeah, hit a few balls hard as well. So see if we can't find a way to get some of those to fall.
Here's the lefty Jackson Moore getting the start in left today. The first pitch to Moore misses away. Ball 1. Moore in this series has gone 1 for 3. Has played now in all 4 games. (1-0) pitch. Tried to pull the trigger but couldn't. Took it for a strike. 1-1.
Sal pitcher Ryan Brown is not going to overpower you with the fastball. I've actually seen the fastball velo tick down a little bit, but hunt the middle part of the plate and get a pitch you can drive.
1-1 pitch, swung on and tapped foul the backstop. 1-2. 3-2 LaSalle if you're just joining us. Clemson batting here bottom of the second with a runner at first and 1 out. A run in the first for LaSalle's solo home run by Swain. Clemson answered back with 2 in the bottom of the first, then a 2-run homer for LaSalle off the bat of Austin Rue. It's giving them the 3-2 lead. Throw over to first, and Fultz easily back to the bag. 1-2 pitch. That is wrapped into right field. Base hit. Could be extra bases. Headed for the corner. Will get all the way to the wall. Will they hold the runner at third? No. Yes. Now the late stop sign came up from Schnabel. He was halfway down the line trying to read everything that was going on with the right fielder and the second baseman, and he put the late stop sign up on Fultz. But a double for Moore. Clemson back in business. Runners second and third, 1 out. Flip it to the top of the order, Purify.
Yeah, I was watching Nick Schnabel there with, if he doesn't do anything, you're taught to keep on running. So he's not going to wave you. He's going to stop you. And it was Fultz had to put the brakes on late, but Moore getting a good breaking ball and doing damage.
First pitch to Purify. He took a good cut and found it straight back, 0-1.
Yeah, that's a good swing right there. That's a fastball over the heart of the plate. And you've got second and third, runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs. He's got a job to do. So Red zone opportunity is what we like to call it.
Purify reached on 4 straight pitches back in the first. 0-1. Fouls it back. Nothing in 2. Moved to second on an E1. Stole a base. Got over to third on a double steal. And then scored on an E2 on that double steal. The catcher throwing backside to the second base bag. Skipped it into center field to allow Jaron to score. Brown ahead of Purify 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, that's in the air, hit well. Left center field. Center fielder on his horse, has a beat on it, goes crashing into the wall after he makes the grab, but tagging at third and scoring will be Fultz, and we're knotted up at 3. I thought that ball was going to be out of here.
Yeah, that's a great piece of hitting. That ball is actually on the outside part of the plate, but his job is to try to get a ball, lift the ball to the outfield. And I tell you, Swain, we talk about him being a good player. He was playing pretty much straight up, and he caught it right there in front of the scoreboard in left center, and he went a long way to get that ball. There's not many players, I don't think, that make that catch. And it was 104 miles an hour off the bat, but that sacrifice fly will tie this ball game up.
Also, Moore tagged at second, moved over to third. So you stand there's McClatty, tries to push a bunt, bunts it foul. So sac fly RBI for Purify to tie us at 3.
Not a bad idea there. You have Rue playing. He was playing behind the bag at third base and trying to push a bunt down the third base line and use his speed.
McClatty a fly ball to left, his first time up, 0 for 1. Checks his swing as a pitch misses low and away to the lefty. A ball and a strike. So a 3-3 game. Here with 2 outs, runner at third, bottom of 2.
Saw a 2-out RBI there in the first. See if we can't do it again in the second.
1-1 pitch, missing low.
I'd take a wild pitch as well. I don't have to have the RBI. I just want the run.
Clemson's done a marvelous job going all the way back to the South Carolina series. Somebody scores a run, Clemson answers right back. I think they've done it now 11 times in a row.
11 innings, 11 out of 11.
Yep.
That's impressive. Tells a lot about your ball club, too.
2-1 pitch. That is wrapped through the hole. Right side, base hit. Scoring from third is going to be Moore. Clemson will take a 4-3 lead. There's another 2-out RBI for you, Brad. Talked it into existence.
That's what we like to see. It's been the difference maker in this ball game so far as Clemson takes a 4-3 lead. It's not much better than that. One of my favorite things. Tigers didn't get the leadoff guy on board either. Ty Dally hit that hard line drive to start the inning, but good piece of hitting right there by all the batters.
Hits now are even at 3. Score is even at 3, and here's Savoy. Hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored back in the first. Throw over to first, and McClatty goes diving back to the bag safely. They gave a warning to Savoy, not settling in the box and making eye contact at 8 seconds. There goes the runner from first. The pitch is high, and the throw down not in time to get McClatty. He swipes yet another base. He's now 8 for 9 in stolen bases on the year, and that already is the 3rd stolen base for Clemson. Actually, the 4th stolen base for Clemson in this game.
A nice job being aggressive again with 2 outs, trying to get that runner in scoring position. See if we can't get another 2-out knock.
1-0 to Savoy. The 1-0 pitch that came inside, almost got him.
And he was holding his ground, wasn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't going to move.
Savoy's
a little bit more built like a linebacker, though. he's not your typical baseball player. He's a little thicker than most. But he can pick him up and put him down.
Yeah, he runs really well for a wide guy, as we like to call it.
.2-0 delivery. Swung on, foul back. 2-1.
Savoy hitting .400 this weekend in 10 at-bats. Those 4 base hits, one of them being extra bases. We saw him drive in those 2 yesterday with a double. See if he can't add on to that here.
2-1 from Brown. Misses outside. Fastball, 3-1. Gaffney waits on deck. Would be next. 2 runs for Clemson here in the bottom of the second. Now lead at 4-3. Action in the LaSalle bullpen. (3-1) to Savoy. That came inside and hit him. Caught him on the front hand.
Same exact situation as the first inning.
Yeah.
That
Get
might
hit
have
by
got
a
him
pitch.
too.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous place to get hit. You get down there in the fingers and the wrist, and
get little bones and all kinds of
That's
stuff in there. It can easily get
let's
broken.
hope he's okay.
And get a visit to the mound pitching coach. Comes out to talk it over with pitcher, catcher, and infield. So the Tigers taking a 4-3 lead. A couple of runs here in the bottom of the second. And a little bit of an adventure for Ryan Brown. Little roller coaster up and down with him.
I like how the second time through the order, these Tigers, I feel like, have done a nice job of getting a pitch they can do some damage with and manufacturing runs.
So far, Brown, through his inning and 2/3 work, has thrown 49 pitches, just 24 of them for strikes. 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them earned, a couple of walks. Nobody struck out yet. Meeting over, and it steps Gaffney. Brown's first pitch to Gaffney. Poured in for a strike. 0-1.
So Gaffney have a little bit of a bad luck. His first at bat hit a ball really hard up the middle, but with Perez there holding on the runner, who's perfectly played, and ended the inning. See if we can get a knock here.
Throw back to second. That's going to be a close play, and they got him. McClatty with kind of dancing off the bag out there, and they turned and picked him off as the second baseman came and took the throw from the catcher. So that is a pickoff, 1-4 to end the inning. But the Tigers able to plate 2. They do so on a couple of hits. Weren't any errors and a man left. 4-3, Clemson leads it. We head to the third on the Clemson Athletic Network. We'll head off to the third, 4-3 in favor of Clemson. Before we go any further, 10 seconds for identification on the Clemson Athletic Network. Fans, we want you to elevate your financial game with Founders Federal Credit Union. Visit foundersfcu.com today to see how you can pursue financial excellence. Today, new pitcher comes on for our Clemson Tigers. It's the righty, the man from York, Dion Brown.
Yeah, number 93, the right-hander, Dion Brown, 5'10", 155-pound sophomore. Louisville High School there in York, South Carolina. making his 4th appearance of the season, all in relief. Has 4 1/3 innings pitched. He's given up 2 hits, 1 run, no earned runs, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. Opponent's only batting 133 on the season. Has no wins, no losses, no saves, and still at 0.00 ERA on the season for Dion Brown.
So Talon Bell goes 2, 3 hits, 3 runs earned, 3 walks, a strikeout through 45 pitches, 25 of them for strikes. Faced 11 hitters. But exits with a 4-3 lead. Don't forget our friends at WCCP 105.5 Clemson Greenville, 97.5 FM, and Spartanburg, the official flagship stations for Clemson Athletics. So Carter Groen will step in. 3-4-5 due up against Brown here in the top of the 3rd. First pitch to Groen, that's in for a strike. 0-1. Groen a fly ball to center. His first at bat was a second out back in the 1st. 0-for-1. 0-1 from Brown, missing away.
I'm going to brag on Dion for a minute. He's one of these guys that, you know, the jump that he made from last year to this year, just a phenomenal, you know, jump. Stayed back here in the summer, worked out every day.
Pitch up and in, almost hit him. 2-1.
Just done a nice job, just, you know, getting his body stronger. Not a big kid, just 5'10", 160 pounds or so. But one of the best arms on the team. Can run up the mid-90s fastball.
2-1, missing low and away. It's 3-1.
Pitch at 95 miles an hour there, but done a nice job just getting stronger, and he's going to be a big piece of this Tiger bullpen.
Can I give you a little Dennis Oil Can Boyd
Yeah.
on Dion Brown? The 3-1, just off the outside corner. So he walks the first man that he faces here to lead off the 3rd. This isn't going to be easy today, is it?
No, it's just that's his first walk of the season.
Yep.
The 3rd time the leadoff guy has been aboard today. Is that right? Or second?
The second time.
Second time.
Yeah, we got Giuliano ground out to second, his to lead off the 1st.
That's right. Hard hit ground ball.
Zestawicki walked to start the 2nd, and now Groen walks to start the 3rd. Here's a DH, Ryan Perez, brother of Daniel, who bats in the 9 hole. Doubled his first time up, takes the first pitch strike. 0-1.
We found out yesterday we saw a pitcher on the mound, Sebastian Perez. Can't confirm that any relation, but saw him out of the bullpen.
1, took something off, swing and a miss, had him out front. Nothing in 2.
Really nice changeup there from Dion. We've seen a lot of good changeups from this Tiger pitching staff. Such an effective pitch. Throw it for strikes. Nice, way ahead 0-2.
0-2 pitch, swing, and just got a piece of it. Foul it in and out of the glove of Savoy.
See if Dion can get one himself.
Sets, runner leads from first, throw over, diving back safely. It's Groen.
Dion, one of the most athletic guys on this ball club. We've seen him 2 years in a row. He's been the pitcher in the 3-2-2 pick over again.
Back safely. Yeah, Sebastian, he's not from the same hometown.
Yeah, I don't
as
think
Daniel
there was a relation.
and Ryan.
Saw Dion do the backflip on the mound. Past 2 falls.
0-2, ground ball, second. Prayer Phi will flip it to second for 1. Lichtenberger's throw over to first. Here's your second double play this game for the Clemson infield, the second 4-6-3.
That's what we like to see right there. You walk the leadoff guy, it doesn't come to hurt you, and you get a routine 4-6-3. That might be one of my second favorite things other than the 2-out RBI. It ranks up there. There's a lot of things in baseball I love, but rolling a nice double play on defense is pitcher's friend.
It's now the 7th double play turned by Clemson on the season. The 11th turned on LaSalle. Here's a swing and a miss for Welshens as he was out front of the off-speed pitch. 0-1. So if he can hit 93, 94, 95 with that fastball, come back at that. That looked like a change at 79. There's a fastball at 95 that misses low. 1-1.
Yeah, that pitch didn't miss by much, but like we said, he's got a really good arm and athletic body on the mound.
1-1, pop foul, back out of play. 1-2. The other thing that I like about Brown and most of the pitching staff, they get the ball and they're ready to go.
Yeah, and I think that's just a part of the competitive nature as well. Just obviously we set the momentum and set the tone on the mound.
1-2, breaking ball, got him looking. So the leadoff walk erased by the 4-6-3 double play, and then the strikeout of Welshons. LaSalle will go 1-2-3 in the third. 4-3, Clemson leads it. We head to the bottom half here on the Clemson Athletic Network.
Marissa Howell proud to serve as the official team position of the Clemson Tigers.
Four, 3, Clemson leads it. We'll head to the bottom of the third. And we'll get a new pitcher that will come on for LaSalle as they bring the righty that had been warming up in the bullpen. Number 21, Hudson Narkey.
Yeah, Hudson Narkey, number 21, coming into the ball game today. Right-hander, 5'11", 185-pound junior out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Narkey making his 4th appearance of the season, all in relief. Has 5 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 5 hits, 4 runs, only 1 of those earned. 3 walks to 5 strikeouts. Opponents batting .238 versus Narkey. Has earned 1 win on the season, no losses, no saves, and an earned average of 1.59. So done a nice job for him so far in the young season.
Narkey will have to face Gaffney, Lichtenberger, Dillard. 4, 5, 6 in the order for Clemson. 4-3, Clemson leads it. A run in the first for LaSalle, answered by 2 in the bottom of the first. 2 in the second for LaSalle, answered by 2 in the bottom of the second. No runs by LaSalle here in the top of the third. We'll see what Clemson does bottom of. First pitch to Gaffney. That misses inside. Ball 1. Gaffney was at the plate when McClatty got picked off at second to end the second.
Close play out there at second, too, but no replay today. Understand. Got to be careful.
1-0 delivery. Popped it up. Right field. Towards the line. That comes Groen, and he'll make the play. 1 away.
Just a fastball on the outside part of the plate. Luke just missed that one, so see if we can't start it again with 1 out. We did it last inning.
Yep. Hey, don't forget that Blue Choice offers a variety of health and dental plans to serve the needs of South Carolinians. You can learn more at bluechoicesc.com. Tyler Lichtenberger, infield single, RBI, stolen base back in the first. First pitch to the lefty, misses outside. Ball 1.
That was his changeup, I believe.
Lichtenberger was able to plate Savoy with the second run for Clemson in that bottom of the first. Swing by Lichtenberger that fouls out of play third base side. 1-1.
Tigers being aggressive at the plate, trying to get a pitch they can handle. Hunt the middle part, hunt the heart.
One offering outside of the lefty. 2-1. A day A little windy, right around 70 degrees. Need a jacket, need rain gear. Hadn't rained heavily, but just if had some, I think it's slacked off right now, as a matter of fact. But
just enough to annoy you.
2-1, high and away, 3-1. As Keith Jackson once said, doing a ball game at Husky Stadium in Seattle, where it rained just hard enough to keep the countryside green and the traditional football blanket soggy.
Let's see if we can make a soggy baseball.
3-1, misses away, so there's a walk to Lichtenberger with 1 out. Maybe that is the start of something here with 1 away.
That's what I like about this Clemson offense. You know, they've definitely found ways to do it. You saw against Michigan State, we scored 7 runs there in the 4th inning with 2 outs and nobody on, and we've seen them do it with 1 out here in this ball game. So just kind of trying to put quality at bats together.
3rd walk drawn by Clemson hitters today. Ryan Brown walked 2 in his 2 innings of work. So here is Dillard. First pitch to Jay on the outside corner for a strike. That looked a little wide, but called strike.
Well, I think Jay gave up on it as well. Maybe a breaking ball that just caught the outside part.
Well, 1 pitch. That's foul back out of play. So Dillard in an 0-2 hole, as we now have in Major League Baseball. You know, hitters, pitchers, or catchers can question a call. I'm shocked at how quickly they review it and get the answer. Watching a spring training game.
Technology is amazing. Just, I don't know if I like it though.
The 0-2 breaking ball misses up and in. 1-2. Well, just because of the human error factor and because of technology, it was coming down the tracks like an out of control train.
I don't doubt it.
1-2. That is hit out into right center field. Everybody giving it chase. That's going to split them. Go all the way to the wall. Striding into second, standing up with a double will be Dillard. Lichtenberger will move to third. There's second and third, 1 out. Jay Dillard continues to impress at the plate.
Have a week, Jay Dillard.
Absolutely. That's Dillard's 2nd double of the week. Actually, it's his 2nd double of this series. It's his 3rd double of the week.
And he had obviously a big walk-off 10-run rule home run there on Wednesday, but
it's a blast.
He had a ball yesterday that was a blast that when he hit it, I kind of jumped up a bit. I thought there's no doubt that ball was getting out of here, and unfortunately the wind knocked it down, but see if we can't do some damage here.
There's Ty Daly. He takes a huge cut and fouls it back. 0-1. Daly lined out to short to start the 2nd. 0-for-1.
Got to have a good approach here. They've got the infield in. There's runners at 2nd and 3rd, less than 2 outs. So you got to find a way to get that ball through the infield and try to do it early in the count.
0-1. Right in the bottom of the zone for a strike, 0-2.
I think Ty thought that pitch was at the little bit down, but I think TrackMan's showing it very bottom of the zone, so dug himself a hole here, but you still have to find a way to shorten up, 2-strike approach, find a way to score this run.
Runners lead from 2nd and 3rd with 1 out. 0-2 pitch. Wrap fair down the first base line. That's going to score Lichtenberger. Here comes Dillard behind him. On his way to 2nd. Standing up is Daly with a double, and he's plated 2 and stretches the lead now to 6-3.
That's a good piece of hitting there. He got an off-speed pitch. It was just an 0-2 mistake. That ball is in the middle, center part of the plate. Ty Daly getting the bat head out and just driving it right past the diving Welshins there at first base and rattling the ball around in that right field corner. That's how you manufacture runs.
Absolutely. So the 1-out walk started it, then the double by Dillard put him 2nd and 3rd, and Daly doubles them both in. 6-3 Clemson. Here's Jason Foltz. First pitch to Foltz. He swings and fouls it back. Out of play. Foltz, a walk and a run scored just an inning ago in the 2nd. Good to see Daly do that too. That's
absolutely
just something that'll help him grow a little bit more confident at the plate. He's going to hit, and no doubt about that. The 0-1 misses in.
Yeah, that's for sure. He's done such a nice job just even making adjustments from the start of the season, just working on his plan at the plate, working on his approach, finding a way to continue to contribute in this lineup.
1-1. Didn't get on top of the breaking ball and missed high. Did Narkey? 2-1. Two-one pitch, missing in.
Another good take by Jason Foltz. Again, runner in scoring position. Got to find a way to hunt the heart and see if we can't score another one.
Congratulations to La Crosse. They knock off Notre Dame today, 13-9.
Wow. Get it done.
3-1, called strike, upper part of the zone. 3-2.
I don't mind the take there. That ball's up in the zone. You're one pitch, one spot. Having trouble with his command. See if you can bear down now with 2 strikes.
Payoff pitch. Ooh, just missed low. Good take by Foltz. That didn't miss by much.
Going back to that play discipline.
4th walk drawn by Clemson hitters here today. The 2nd given up by Narkey. So they're 1st and 2nd, still 1 out. And here's Jackson Moore, who doubled and scored back in the 2nd. First pitch to the lefty, swing and a miss. 0-1.
Pulled the string on him. Nice change up down in the zone. Ball's got a little run on it too, running away from these left-handed hitters.
One pitch. That's in there for a strike. 0-2.
Came back with the fastball there.
Well, Daly took a 0-2 pitch from the left side.
That's right.
Into the right field corner for a double. Set up outside here to Moore. See if they go outside. The pitch, nope. Right down the middle, and they popped it up shallow center. Center fielder Swain still coming in as the shortstop goes out, but Swain will call him off. 2 away.
He got his fastball again, but good pitch down in the zone, and it's not a pitch he can do some damage with. So doesn't get us to the top of the order, though. See if we can't have some fun.
Well, yeah, hence a 2-out base hit in the 1st, a 2-out base hit in the 2nd that each produced a run. Got a chance to do it here in the 3rd, go 3 for 3 as Purify steps in. A walk and a run scored in the 1st. Sac fly RBI in the 2nd. Pitch to Purify. Couldn't pull the trigger, took it for a strike. 0-1. Purify took one to deep left center. All the way almost to the wall in front of the scoreboard here at Doug Kingsmore. Caught by Swain, but it produced a run. Swing and a foul tip to the glove of Novak. Purify in an 0-2 hole.
That's a good swing there, though. Purify really seeing the ball well right now. And see if he can't continue to put a good swing on one.
Daly leads from 2nd and Foltz from 1st with 2 outs now. The pitch, that's hit high in the air to left. Left fielder backing on his horse, watching it go out of here. 3-run jack for Purify. And the lead is stretched to 9-3.
How about that swing right there? Talking about seeing the ball well, putting a good swing on it. It's another 0-2 mistake. Got a fastball he could handle and just putting good swings on him.
2nd round trip of the year for Purify and RBIs. Number 9, 10, and 11. He has 4 RBIs in the game in 3 plate appearances.
How about that?
And it's a 5-run bottom of the 3rd so far for Clemson.
Some more 2-out RBIs. Working on our area code here. 225 right now. Yesterday we had a little Central Los Angeles, California area code, but Tigers scored the first 3 innings already.
So McClatty steps in. He's 1 for 2. An RBI single just an inning ago. Takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. 0-1 pitch. That's fouled off out of play over everybody's head. Third base side. Nothing in 2 to McClatty. Well, Narkey's gotten to 0-2. He's been to 0-2, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
On 3 straight hitters now. 0-2 pitch. Tap foul right there at the plate.
Good changeup. Just had McClatty out front. He wanted that pitch, but just the difference. That just goes to show you just the difference in that pitch speed. Get that hitter out front. McClatty with 5 home runs on the season.
0-2 delivery. That's in the air to center. Backing is Swain. He'll be shy of the terrace. Now comes back in as Stips. The wind knocks it down. And McClatty out on the F8 to end the inning. But 8 come to the plate. 5 of them touch home on 3 base hits. No errors. And nobody left. 9-3. Clemson leads it after 3. We head off to the 4th. Let me remind you that the South Carolina Education Lottery, a proud partner of Clemson Athletics. Since 2002, more than 197,000 lottery-funded scholarships and grants have been awarded to Clemson students. And since 2002, the lottery has raised more than $9 billion to support education in the state. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com. 4th inning comes your way after this here on the Clemson Athletic Network. Clemson leads LaSalle after 3. Along with Brad Owens, I'm Don Munson. Glad to have you with us. Hey, United Bank, a leader in banking for over 180 years, proud to serve Clemson fans across the Carolinas. Visit us at bankwithunited.com, member FDIC. 2 up for LaSalle here in the 4th as Dion Brown will stay on the hill to begin his 2nd inning of work. Sestawicki, Novak, Rue, 6, 7, 8 in the order.
First 0 the Tiger pitching staff had put up on the board the last inning after the leadoff walk. Double play erased it, and strike 3. Let's see if we can't do another 0 again.
Sestawicki walked and scored his first time up, and here he hits a line shot over Purify's head in right center field. Daly will get over, cut it off, and hold him to a single on a strike to Lichtenberger on 1 hop to second base. Sestawicki made the right decision there and decided not to challenge the arm of Daly.
That's a great job by Ty Daly, too. That ball, again, the conditions are wet out there. The ball is skipping in the right center gap, but Ty Daly getting to it quickly and making a good firm throw there to keep that runner at first.
First hit off of Brown, the 4th of the day for LaSalle. There's Jaden Novak, the catcher. Flied out to center, his only at bat in the 2nd. Takes a pitch low for a ball, 1-0. 3rd time in 4 innings that LaSalle has had the leadoff man aboard. 1-0, breaking ball. Misses inside. 2-0.
The Tigers did a really nice job of that on Friday. Only playing 7 innings with the 10-run rule. However, recorded that leadoff guy out 7 for 7.
2-0 delivery. Overthrew the fastball, missed low and outside. 3-0.
Take another one of those double plays you talked up a minute ago.
Turned 2 so far.
That's right.
In this game, both of them 4.63s. Brown pitching a little too quick for Novak, and the home plate umpire warns him about that.
Got to give the batter a chance to get set in the box.
3-0 pitch, in for a strike, 3-1. Game in North Augusta on Tuesday, right?
Yeah, Tuesday, going to drive down, playing Georgia Southern. Head coach Rodney Hennon.
3-1 offering, misses up and in. So the single, and now a walk, puts him first and second. Nobody out here in the top of the fourth for Austin Rue. Second walk that Brown has given up. Bell walked 3 in his 2 innings of work. Bell at the line on Bell was 2 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs earned, 3 walks, a strikeout. Faced 11 hitters, threw 45 pitches and 25 of them for strikes. Meeting on the mound between pitcher, catcher, and infield.
I like that mound visit there. Just again, you've got a lot of veteran players on there. You got a senior Jay Dillard at third base, Jaron Purify, captain, Luke Gaffney, our leader on this team.
That's one of those that even though the pitching coach doesn't come out, it's ruled a visit. Here's Rue, the 2-run homer for Rue, and then shows bunts it foul. Right there at the plate, 0-1. Long 2-run homer in the second for Rue. To left.
Yes, first one of the season.
0-1 pitch, not spunning here, but swinging and missing. Late swing there, 0-2.
Be nice to get one ourselves right here by Dion Brown.
About a 5-4-3 around the horn triple play. 0-2. Check swing on the breaking ball outside that missed, 1-2. The appeal, he did not go. One-two, and another breaking ball, another check swing. Breaking ball missed low. He did not go, says first base umpire Mike Jarbo.
2 good breaking balls there, just burying him down, 0-2.
So 2-2 here to Austin Rue. Zestawicki leads from second, Novak from first with nobody out for LaSalle, and the 2-2 pitch, low and outside, 3-2. So Brown had him 0-2. Now it's full 3-2. (9-3). Clemson leads it. Nobody out. Runners first and second here, top of the fourth. Payoff pitch. Got him. Came back with a breaking ball. It looked like a little bit more up in the zone. Rue knew it, headed to the dugout, third base side.
Yeah, really nice breaking ball. A little bit harder breaking ball than we've seen from Dion Brown, but that goes back to any pitch, anywhere, anytime. These Clemson pitchers having confidence, throwing that off-speed pitch for strikes.
So here's Daniel Perez, left-handed hitting second baseman. In the first pitch, a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Perez walked his only at bat in the second. Maybe there's a double play ball in his bat.
Yeah,
I'll
take that.
We can end
we only
it on
need
it.
2 now. Dion Brown doing a nice job getting one himself.
1 pitch, swing and a miss. Pulled the string on him, had him way out front.
Yeah, really nice change up there. Again, just locating that pitch on the outside part of the plate. Way ahead here.
Brown checks the runners. And his 0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3. Looked like he came back with that change again.
Yeah, just continued. Actually took it off the plate a little bit farther and see if he could get him to chase, and he did just that. Really nice job by Dion after the single and the walk, coming right back and getting 2 himself.
Yeah, back-to-back strikeouts. Top of the order. Giuliana steps in. Ground ball to second and a walk for A.J. Giuliana. The left fielder takes a pitch for a ball, 1-0.
Breaking ball just missing on the inside part of the plate. Dion finding that groove a little bit.
1-0 pitch. That's in for a strike. Giuliano almost bending back a little bit on that pitch.
That's what I've seen. You know, we saw it from Talon Bell a bit. We've seen it from Dion. Just, you know, these guys, you know, face a little adversity. They continue to bear down and keep working.
1-1. In for a strike. Work the outside corner. 1-2. One-two pitch. Missed low.
Tried to bury the off-speed pitch there. That's a really good 1-2 pitch. They got twos across the board here with 2 outs. See if he can't finish off his hitter.
It's going to be interesting to see what he throws here on 2-2. The 2-2, chopper foul, third base side. Came back with the breaking ball again.
Yeah.
Yep. Sestawicki leads from second, Novak from first, but now with 2 outs. Brown's 2-2 in the air to right. Dally started back, now comes in, works his way towards the line, makes the play. Brown pitches himself out of 2 on, nobody out, no damage. No runs, a hit, no errors, 2 men left there for Clemson in the top of the 4th. We head to the bottom half, Clemson leading it 9-3 here on the Clemson Athletic Network. We head to the bottom of the 4th, has become tradition here at Doug Kingsmore. Strike up Lee Greenwood and God Bless the USA, and the guys come out of the dugout, come in and shake hands with all the veterans that are around the ballpark, male and female, as once again we honor those that have so bravely served our country. Coach Backage out and amongst the crowd as well. Now everybody on their feet standing and applauding. Never, ever going to get old.
Just brings chills every single time. Again, just a reminder, it is bigger than baseball.
Always has been, always will be. Farm Bureau Insurance is rolling out new auto rates in South Carolina. Slide into your local office to see how you can save. Plus, Farm Bureau members score the kind of perks that are guaranteed home run, like free and discounted tickets to select Clemson athletic events. Find an office or get a quote at scfbins.com. I can tell you that my wife and I, we were on our honeymoon in 1984, the first time we ever heard Lee Greenwood. We were driving through the Rockies.
How about, oh.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Yeah, you just might as well film your own music video there.
It was awesome. So here to lead off the bottom of the 4th will be Savoy. He takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Savoy hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored in the first. Got hit by a pitch again in the second. 0-1 delivery. Tapper past the mound up the middle. Second baseman can't come up with it cleanly. Went off his glove, backed up by the shortstop. That'll be an infield single for Savoy.
He was due one of those, I think. I feel like he's hit the ball so hard lately, just right at a lot of guys, and getting that infield single right back up the middle.
The 7th base hit up on the board for Clemson. Leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 4th, leading at 9-3, and here's Gaffney, 0 for 2. Gaffney right now the only guy in the lineup that has not reached base. He's grounded out to second, flied out to right. First pitch to Luke. That's shot out towards right, backing the right fielder, and shy of the terrace, reaching up and making the grab is Groen. So Luke drops to 0-3 on the game. Savoy stays put at first, one away for Lichtenberger.
You got a good barrel on it there. That was a good pitch to hit. A fastball right over the middle part of the plate. Just went with it and drove it right at Groen.
I'm going to put that as an L9, not just a single.
I'll take
F9.
that. It was a good base running too by Nate Savoy. It was a tough play. He had to go back on it and make a catch, but he was almost to second base there just in case that ball were to drop.
Lichtenberger, an infield single, RBI, stolen base in the first, walked and scored in the third. Takes a pitch high. Ball one.
So you saw Lee Greenwood perform, God Bless America, at the Clemson football game.
Oh, yeah, a couple of years ago. That was awesome.
Not too long ago.
That was awesome. 1-0 delivery, lifted foul out of play, third base side, 1-1. Yeah, my wife, Elizabeth, and I, we went out and honeymooned through Colorado, up into Wyoming, and then into Montana, Yellowstone, and we were driving back down out of the Tetons when we had just had the radio on, and all of a sudden that came, we were like, what the heck, right? I mean, just perfection. 1-1, missing low and outside, 2-1.
It's just like the rest of your years of marriage, right? Just all perfection.
41 years of
Lucky
marriage,
man.
46 dating that woman.
How about that?
Yeah. Coming to will be 42 for us on the 26th of May.
How about that?
2-1 pitch. Called strike low in the zone, 2-2.
Just catching the bottom part of the zone. See if Litch can do some work here with 2 strikes. He's going to be a good player for you. Already has been, but just Sun Belt Freshman of the Year last year from App State.
2-2 delivery, misses away. 3-2. Came in known for his defense. He's one of these guys, if he can hit 250, 260 and play defense, you're going to love him.
Another one of those guys, thankful they're in that Clemson Tiger uniform.
Payoff pitch, that's in the air to left. Left fielder started back, now comes in, settles under it, makes the grab, 2 away. So Savoy still at first after the infield single to start the bottom of the fourth, but Clemson has had 2 out RBIs in each of the first 3 innings. Lichtenberger, an RBI infield single in the first. McClatty singled in a run with 2 outs in the second. And then Purify, a 3-run homer with 2 outs in the third. Let's see what Dillard can do. He doubled and scored his last time up. 1 for 2. First pitch to Dillard. First pitch swinging. Lifts it down the right field line. Right fielder coming to the line, has a beat on it, makes the grab, and the side is retired. The infield single, unfortunately, doesn't lead to anything. No runs on a hit, no errors, and a man left there for Clemson in the bottom of the fourth. 9-3, Clemson leads it over LaSalle. Don't forget that you can hit a Hardee's home run and get a limited edition Clemson Collector's Cup when you upgrade your order and enjoy free refills or refills for just 99 cents all year long. That's at Hardee's. Back to Clemson after this on the Clemson Athletic Network.
We're going to section UJ. Roby, you are today's lucky runner. Hey fans, before you crack open a cold one, do your part to keep our community safe by planning ahead for a safe ride home. Together, we can end drunk driving.
We head off to the fifth, 9-3 in favor of Clemson. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors so far for LaSalle in this game. 9 runs on 7 hits, no errors for the Clemson Tigers. Tigers are committed to excellence on the diamond. Novant Health is committed to excellence in health care. With the best doctors, amazing nurses, and remarkable care, Novant Health comes through in the clutch. Learn more at novanthealth.org. 2-3-4 due up. Deion Brown will stay on the hill, begin his 3rd inning of work for Clemson. It's Swain, Groen, and Ryan Perez for LaSalle here in the 5th. Let's get through this half inning, and it'll be official no matter what the weather does.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Brown winds and delivers, and a fastball strike to Swain to start the 5th inning. Swain, the solo homer to right center in the 1st, and then he grounded into a 4-6-3 double play to end the 2nd. Swing and a miss at the 0-1, had him out front, 0-2.
A good off-speed pitch there, and a fastball the pitch before, still at 94, so Deion Brown still firing him in out there.
0-2 delivery, swing and a miss, strike 3. Brown will record his 4th strikeout since coming on in this contest. Back in the 3rd, 1 away here in the 5th.
Deion went 2 1/3 innings pitched against Bryant that 2nd weekend of the year, so he's now tied his season high innings pitched.
Groen, first pitch swinging, ground ball 3rd. 8-up Dillard at 1st, but he'll field and fire over to 3rd, stayed with it. Got in front of it, knocked it down, didn't give up on it, and a good strong throw to take care of Groen. 2 away.
How about that play, man? He just got his body in front of it, sacrificed his body, knocked it down, but kept his composure. Just doing a nice job catching it up on that one bounce, and just a cannon over there to first base.
So 2 quick outs, and the hitter go visit with the 3rd base coach, Ryan Perez. Going to go over and talk it up. This is probably more or less just a slow down things that have happened so quickly here for Clemson defensively in the top of the 5th. Dillard, though, he may be turning into a guy that's in the lineup way more often than people probably first thought if he keeps playing like this. He's just going to earn his way, you know, on that lineup card each and every day.
Yeah, you just can't take him out of the lineup, right? That's the kind of players you want. You just, make it easy for me not to, have to take you out of the lineup. But he's earned that. That's just a testament to the, Jay Dillard's hard work, just continuing to, bring it every single day. And, no matter if you're not playing or not, and that's just a testament to all those guys in the bunker. Just got to keep working at it.
So in steps Ryan Perez, a double and a 4-6-3 double play off the bat of Perez. So 1 for 2. The double came in the 1st. The double play in the 3rd. Takes a first pitch strike, 0-1. 1 delivery, misses outside of the lefty. A ball on a strike. The 1-1, just missed inside. 2-1. I go back my day. Zane Green, he went on a run, bottom 3rd of a season, a team that went to the College World Series. He got hot, and Coach Leggett just couldn't take him out of the lineup.
Yeah, it's just fun things to watch.
2-1 pitch, misses outside.
Was it 2002?
That was either 2002 or 2006.
Okay.
One of the two. I think it was 2006.
Sounds right. Actually, that out by Jay Dillard's the longest outing now of Deion Brown's career.
Pitch misses up. So a 2-out walk to Perez will keep it alive for Welshans. 3rd walk given up by Deion Brown, and the 6th by Clemson pitching. The starter, Bell, walked 3 in his 2 innings of work. Yeah, but as long as Dillard continues to play that, and again, you want to know what separates the great from just the good, it's the guys that bring it every stinking day.
No doubt.
Do something to earn themselves back onto the card. Foul ball to the dugout, 3rd base side, and the first pitch to Welshans, 0-1.
Yeah, win or lose, I'll take 34 of those type players every single day. Just what kind of team you're going to get each and every day and stay consistent. I think it says a lot about today, just being out in front, 9-3 right now.
0-1, off speed, missing low.
I think this is one of probably the biggest challenges that we've had all season long. You're coming off of 5 games of the week. A long game yesterday, playing, doubleheader, 2 games, and having to lose the hour of sleep last night, come back today, pick over to first. He's safe, but we talked about it a little bit yesterday with all the sporting events. Fans were scattered all over. Today, the rainy conditions, not a packed house. Actually a pretty good crowd, I feel like, for the rainy conditions, but you just got to bring your own energy.
Now the throw to first and stepping back to the bag is Perez. No, I've been impressed by the way that Clemson has come in and handled this, particularly coming off of all the emotion from last weekend.
100%.
1-1, swing and a miss, sent him out front, 1-2.
I'll give Coach Bakich a lot of credit for that too. Obviously, the guys are the ones that have to really, bring it. But it's a no business mindset during our meetings, pre-game meetings in our classroom. He challenges them. That was the challenge this weekend. After coming off an emotional weekend.
Runner moving on the 1-2, pitch misses low. The throw down by Savoy. One hops. Purify, but he applies the tag to take care of Perez. So Perez caught stealing 2-4 to end the top of the 5th. We've seen a little bit of everything out of Clemson in this ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left there for LaSalle in the top of the 5th. We're halfway home. Clemson leading at 9-3. Back after this on the Clemson Athletic Network. (9-3). Clemson leads LaSalle as we move to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Doug Kingsmore Stadium in Clemson, South Carolina. Along with Brad Owens, Don Munson, glad to have you with us here on a Sunday. If you're a Clemson fan, lacrosse won earlier today here on the Clemson campus, 13-9 over Notre Dame. Softball, they play tonight at 6 o'clock against Georgia Tech, looking to sweep that series. A no-hitter and a walk-off home run yesterday for softball, and a 1-0 win over Georgia Tech as they took the first 2 games in that series to open up the ACC. Try to sweep it. Always nice if you can open up ACC play with a sweep.
Absolutely. Get off to a good start. Excited. Maybe, hopefully, we'll be home in time and turn that one on and watch it with the family.
Daly, Fultz, Moore, bottom third of the order due up for Clemson. First pitch to Ty Daly, the right fielder, outside for a ball. Daly doubled into the right field corner that plated 2 back in the 3rd. Pitch to Daly, big swing and a miss. 1-1 to Daly. Also is lined out to the shortstop. He did that to lead off the 2nd. So officially Daly 1 for 2.
Yeah, 2 balls really hit hard. 2 quality at bats, as we like to say. It's the success, the recipe. Just put these quality at bats together.
1-1 offering. Misses the outside corner, 2-1. Defensively, they'll play Daly pretty much straight away. Set up outside for the lefty, and the pitch, swing and a miss. Good pitch low in the zone. Maybe a little off the plate.
Yep, good cut there, though.
Yep. 2-2.
Got to shorten up a little bit, switch to a bit of a 2-strike approach, and be a leadoff guy. See if you can, again, find a way to start an inning. See if we can't tack on to this lead.
The pitch misses outside. Well, the catcher, Novak, thought that was strike 3.
Pretty good pitch.
Called the ball, 3-2. Yeah, it was an 0-2 pitch. Matter of fact, that Daly turned on to double into.
Yep.
Back in the third. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Got him to chase something off the plate. One away.
Just chased the fastball out of the zone there, and just see Todd Daly a little bit frustrated with himself there. Not the at-bat that he wanted in that leadoff spot there in the inning, but see if our freshman man, Jason Foltz Jr. can get something going. We've done it with one out in this game.
That's the first strikeout for LaSalle pitching in the game. Here's Foltz. Couple of walks and a run scored. Walked and scored in the second. Pitch high, ball one. Followed that with a walk in the third. (1-0), swing and a miss. Had him out front of a pitch at 77. Bottom was falling out of that pitch. 1-1. Foltz, a late add to the starting lineup. They scratched Jacob Gerald, the DH spot. Foltz DHing here now today. 1-1, misses in. 2-1.
Surprised that ball didn't hit him. It's kind of been the trend lately with Jason Foltz.
Particularly on the left elbow, that front elbow. 2-1, misses low. 3-1. I'm not sure that I like all the body armor. I understand it. Okay, I understand that, you know, my ilk at the age of 64, I go back to Don Baylor. Remember Don Baylor?
Oh, yeah.
He held the major league record for being hit by a pitch for a long time. He didn't wear any body armor. Just sat there and took it. And never charged the mound, ever. The 3-1, excuse me, missing high, ball four. So with one out, Foltz, for the third time in this game, has drawn a base on balls. Stands at first.
Yeah, Foltz continuing to get on base. On base percentage .438 going into that at bat, so continuing to climb.
Foltz has drawn 3 of the 5 walks giving up by LaSalle pitching in this game. So here's Jackson Moore. Double and a run scored in the second. Fly ball to center in the third. 1 for 2. First pitch to the lefty, misses in.
It's going to get some action going in that LaSalle bullpen. Looks like number 24, Josh Beck. A little big lefty, 6'7". They don't have too many lefties on this pitching staff, but one of them.
1-0 the count to Moore, and the delivery to the lefty misses inside. It's 2-0.
Nice
All
job.
of a sudden, the plate jumping around on Narkey. He strikes out Daly and then walks Foltz on 5 pitches, and here he is 2-0 to Moore.
Yeah, good discipline by Jackson. That pitch that Daly struck out on was out of the zone, so nice job by Jackson, just making sure swinging at strikes.
The 2-0 delivery. There's a strike. 2-1. Caught the outer third.
You're looking one pitch, one spot there with a runner at first, one out. Trying to do some damage with it, so he's still in a good hitter's count here and be ready to go.
The shortstop Zestawicki is cheating up the middle. It's a little bit of more of a hole left side for Moore, and he tries to take one that well. Pops it up to left. Left fielder Giuliano along the line will make the grab. 2 away. Staying put at first is Foltz.
Jackson a little frustrated there. He got a good pitch to hit. It was a fastball, pretty much over the heart. Might have had him guessing a little bit.
So here is Purify. Walked and scored back in the first. Had a sac fly RBI to deep left in the second, and then a 3-run homer to even deeper left in the third.
It's a picture-perfect home run. Just the launch angle and ball is a no-doubter.
First pitch to Purify. Low. Ball 1. Clemson with 2 in the first, 2 more in the second. Put a 5 spot on the board in the third. Single run for LaSalle in the first, 2 in the second for them. 9-3, Clemson leads it. And there's a shot through the hole left side, base hit. Purify's been to the plate 4 times today and has done something productive in each at-bat. Has reached base in 3 of the 4. But every time he's been to the plate, production has been there.
How about that? Just driving a good fastball, driving in that 6 hole, and Foltz having to stay there at second base as Giliana coming in and making the play.
That's 9 base hits now in the series for Purify. LaSalle's going to leave here, and he's going to be kicking and screaming. First pitch to McClatty, misses low, ball 1.
Oh, by the way, now that you got Purify, now you got McClatty.
Yeah, you got to deal with him.
444 in the first 3 games of this series.
He had a single and an RBI in the second, did McClatty. He's 1 for 3. First pitch, or excuse me, the 1-0 pitch misses low, 2-0. McClatty flied out to center to end the third, his last at bat.
A deep fly ball too. He hit that ball well. Hitting 389 on the season.
Foltz leads from second. Purify at first. 2 outs. Bottom of the 5th. And pitch right back up the middle. That almost hit the back of the pitcher into center field. Rounding third and headed plateward to score is going to be Foltz. The throw will come to third as Purify slides in there safely. And behind that, McClatty will move on to second. So a single and an RBI for McClatty. He's got 21 ribbies now on the season. There's another 2-out RBI base hit for Clemson. That would be the 4th of the day.
Before I could say it was about time for another 2-out RBI, he's just drilling the ball 96 miles an hour right back. Pitcher Narkey there and getting us to his good read by McClatty too. As Swain tried to get Purify there at third base, and he advanced to second on the throw to get another runner in scoring position.
That's going to be the day for Hudson Narkey on the hill. Big 6'7" lefty's going to come in and pitch for LaSalle. We'll come back, give you his numbers. We'll do that when we return on the Clemson Athletic Network. Clemson leads it. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. Couple of runners aboard. Before we go any further and give you the numbers on Josh Beck, let's pause 10 seconds for identification on the Clemson Athletic Network. All right, now Brad, you can give them the numbers on Josh Beck coming into pitch.
Yeah, the big left-hander, number 24, Josh Beck, 6'7", 227 pounds, senior from Lititz, Pennsylvania. Coming in, making his 3rd appearance of the season, all in relief. He has 3 2/3 innings pitched. No hits, no runs, 1 walk to 6 strikeouts so far in 3 2/3. He's earned 1 win, no losses, no saves, and yet to give up a run so far on the young season. The big left-hander, number 24, Josh Beck.
So Narkey goes 2 2/3, 6 hits, 6 runs all earned, 3 walks, a strikeout, faced 17 batters, 59 pitches, 34 of them for strikes. So Beck inherits runners at second and third and 2 outs. And the pitch misses outside to Savoy. 1-0. Savoy hit by a pitch, stole a base, scored in the first. Hit by a pitch again in the third. Infield single in the fourth. One-0 delivery, swing and a miss. 1-1.
Got a fastball there, just 88 miles an hour, and big swing. Trying to do some big damage with 2 outs, but I'll take another base hit.
Base hit to the outfield is going to score 2 with Purify and McClatty aboard. Purify at third, McClatty at second. One to Savoy, breaking ball. He hammers that into left field. That's going to be extra bases. Purify scores easily. McClatty right behind him. Savoy on his way to second. The throw from the left fielder skips away from the shortstop, or second baseman, excuse me, as he was there to take the throw. That'll be a double and 2 RBIs for Savoy, and the lead is now grown to 12-3.
That's what we're talking about there. Just got an off-speed pitch down in the zone and got the bat head out and drove that ball down the left field line, doing a nice job. Again, hustling to second base as well. I felt like Kiliana did a nice job filling that ball off the wall too and making a close play there at second, but big boy was trucking around first base.
9 two-out RBIs for Clemson in this game.
Making me happy.
So here is Luke Gaffney stepping in. We're not done yet. Both of those runs will be charged to Narkey. Savoy swings, high pop to left. Giuliani will settle underneath that, make the grab, and the side it will be retired. But more two-out damage for Clemson as they're able to plate 3, all of that coming with 2 outs. They do so on 1, 2, 3 base hits, no errors, and a man left. 12-3, Clemson leads it after 5 as we head off to the 6th on the Clemson Athletic Network. So Narkey is going to give up 8 runs all earned. That will blow up the yield.
And Noah and Austin. All right, here's what you're going to do. You're going to get in the middle there, circle the pylon, and first one back to the start line is our winner. Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go! Here's the turn. And with an easy victory, we've got Noah and Austin are winners of the Ag-Pro Wheelbarrow Race.
Twelve 3. Clemson leads it. We'll head off to the 6th, and we'll get a new pitcher on here for our Clemson Tigers. As coming on to pitch for Clemson is Brandon Bennett. Is that right? Is it
Yeah.
32? Yep.
Tigers going to go to one of their left-handers, number 32, Brendan Bennett. Coming to the ballgame, 6'1", 220-pound redshirt freshman from Novi, Michigan, making his 4th appearance of the season. Has 3 innings pitched, all in relief, has 2 hits, 1 run. Run was earned, 4 walks, 7 strikeouts. Opponents batting .182 versus Bennett. Has no wins on the season, no losses, no saves, and a run average of 3.00. The redshirt freshman, Brendan Bennett.
So Brown goes 3, a hit, no runs, walked 3, struck out 4, faced 11 batters. 47 pitches, 25 of them for strikes.
Grounds crew doing a phenomenal job getting this thing cleaned up. Actually, rain has
helped it,
held off a little bit. It's amazing just the amount of discussions that go into play with weather. We were chatting with Chris Justice a week or so ago. He actually teaches a class here on campus, a meteorology class, but I told him I was trying to make a push to have all sports management majors, one of their prereqs, have a semester of, Weather 101.
Chris is a distant cousin of my wife.
Oh, no wonder he's a good guy.
So Welshans will step in to lead things off. And the first baseman, right-handed hitter, takes a first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Welshans 0 for 2. He's struck out both times, swinging and licking at the plate. Bennett winds, and the lefty pours in another strike, 0-2.
Yeah, nice job by Brendan Bennett, just throwing strikes. He's got another one of these arms out of this bullpen. He could be a tremendous big asset for the Clemson pitching staff.
Bennett winds in his 0-2 delivery. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 3 straight pitches, and Welshons for the 3rd time today headed back to the dugout via strikeout.
Brendan's one of these guys, has a really good fastball. Good really two breaking balls. Likes to throw a slider and a curveball. That was the curveball there, and pull the string on you too, and that changeup.
So here's Zestawicki, the right-handed hitting shortstop. And Bennett starts in with a breaking ball, foul tipped it to the glove of Savoy, 0-1. Zestawicki walked and scored in the 2nd and singled in the 4th. 12-3, Clemson leads it with 1 out here, top of the 6th. And the pitch popped it back foul. It'll drift over everybody's head out of play. 0-2.
Yeah, we saw McClatty out in center field when Zestawicki was coming to the plate. If you ever see our guys looking at a card, if they pull out a card out of their pocket, that's what we call our D card. It's a defensive placement card.
0-2 pitch, that's lifted foul. That may make the players building it, doesn't it? Almost made the alumni plaza, though. Ends up ricocheting on top of the first base dugout. Still 0-2.
Sheriff's Department officer tried to make the play on that. He's practicing for the Fire Police All-Star softball game.
There you go. The 0-2 high and away, 1-2.
Yeah, but I actually see McClatty looking at his D card there again. Just shows the positioning for every single hitter.
1-2 pitch, high, 2-2. Now, who's responsible for all that?
That's a great point. It's Phil Pohl's primarily responsible for it. He'll make them for all the players, but there's a ton of video that goes into that decisions of where they feel like they need to play, whether they're straight up or maybe shaded to the oppo gap.
2-2 misses high, 3-2.
It's a busy week for your staff when you're playing, especially when you play 3 different teams, when you have 2 midweeks and in a weekend series. Basically 3 different scouting reports.
Payoff from Bennett, swing and a miss, got it. Back-to-back strikeouts for Brendan Bennett coming into the game here in the 6th. 2 away.
Well, that for Brendan Bennett, just coming in, doing his job. Again, he can be a huge piece of this Clemson Tiger pitching staff, doing a nice job. He's coming off an injury last year.
You talk about jobs like that where you've got all the, and not a lot of film to look at on LaSalle. So as Phil Pohl and the gang are putting together all the various aspects, it really had to work for this weekend. First pitch to Novak, the catcher, in for a strike. Novak has flied to center and walked in this game. 0 for 1. Walk came in the 4th. 0-1. Up and in. A ball and a strike.
A good fastball, not missing by much, but the left hand, 93 miles an hour. Actually caught part of the top part of the zone, so another good quality pitch.
1-1 offering. Breaking ball for a strike. Absolutely froze Novak. 1-2.
Backdoor breaking ball just right over the outside part.
Bennett looking to see if he can strike out the side. Heading the count here, 1-2. Lefty winds and delivers. Breaking ball missed low, 2-2. Two to Novak. Misses low and in, 3-2.
Tried to go for the bigger breaking ball there, more of the traditional curveball, and just buried it down to run the count full.
You talk about Bennett. Bennett could maybe be one of the answers when you lose a guy like McGovern, like Jacob McGovern. You need a guy kind of like Bennett that can come along, similar style, you know.
Yeah,
just be somebody that doesn't go out there and throw heat.
I think Bennett can be a starter as well. He's got the stuff for it. See what he comes back here. 3-2. Go breaking ball.
And the pitch, checked his swing, went around. Pitch dropped by Savoy, so that's a throw to first, and Bennett does indeed strike out the side. That's what you call pretty nice work. Went 3-2 on 2 of them, but won the battle. So the strikeout, the put out will go 2-3 if you're scoring with us at home. 1-2-3 goes LaSalle in the top of the 6th. Clemson leading at 12-3 here in the Clemson Athletic Network.
Hey fans, turn your attention to the video board. It's time for the Whataburger Shuffle.
(12-3). Clemson would go to the bottom of the 6th. We are playing 10-run rule, so they could push a run across here in the 6th, have a chance to go to the 7th and close it out for the 4th time in the last 5 games. 7 innings. Tiger fans, you know that there are amazing teens and sibling groups who either need a foster or adoptive home. You can learn more about public adoption and fostering through the South Carolina Department of Social Services at dss.sc.gov. Beck will stay on the hill. Came on in the bottom of the 5th. Gave up a double to Savoy that played it 2, but then got Gaffney to fly out to left to end the inning. 9 runs have scored for Clemson with 2 outs in this game.
How about that?
It's amazing.
It's going to be a fun one, Darryl. When we go over our game goals, we'll go over them on Tuesday before we leave down to head to North Augusta. That's one of our game goals.
So here's Lichtenberger to lead it off. Lichtenberger, Dillard, and Daly. 5, 6, 7 in the order. First pitch to the Tiger shortstop, misses away to the lefty. 1-0. Lichtenberger, an infield single, RBI stolen base in the first. That with 2 outs. He started the 2-out barrage for Clemson. Pitch misses high. 2-0.
Nice job by Litch, just being able to have that leadoff guy mentality and be patient at the plate, get a ball over the middle part of the zone, see if we can get something going.
2-0 pitch, taken for a strike. 2-1. Lichtenberger walked and scored in the 4th, and then had a fly ball to left for the 2nd out. Excuse me, the walk and scored in the 3rd, had a fly ball to left for the 2nd out in the 4th. Here's a ball to left in the air, backing Juliana and towards the corner will make the grab though in front of the terrace. 1 away. So here's Jay Dillard. Dillard 1 for 3, doubled and scored in the 3rd. Either side of that, a couple of fly balls to right. Made a fine defensive play already in this game. That was in the top of the 5th.
It's an incredible week.
First pitch to Dillard, misses low. Ball 1. Yeah, it all started for him Wednesday night over in Greenville against Michigan State. Doubled into and then hit the 2-run homer to end that game in 7. Pitch for a strike to Dillard. 1-1.
Wasn't just a home run either. That ball hit off the...
Did it actually hit off? We were trying to decide, did it hit the building or did it actually land on top of the building?
I think it hit the drink rail that is on top of the building and kicked it back.
Here's a shot down the third base line. That third baseman can't backhand it. That's a fair ball down the line. Dillard on his way to second. The throw from the left fielder comes in, but not in time as Dillard slides in safely. He just keeps on keeping on.
How about that? He's got another fastball over the middle part of the plate. When you try to hit the ball back up the middle like that, good things happen. Next thing you know, you're just driving one down the left field line, and Rue trying to make a backhand play, but tough play for him. Going to be another double for Jay Dillard.
Third double in this series for Jay.
Have a week, kid.
Yeah, no doubt. So here's Ty Daly. He doubled in 2, back in the 3rd. Took one in the right field corner. Big swing and a miss by Daly. 0-1. He's lined to the shortstop, doubled in 2, and struck out swinging as Daly.
And chased the pitch out of the top part of the zone there, so hunt the heart in the middle of the plate.
1 pitch, again a swing and a miss.
Yeah, that's the one you wanted there. I don't mind a swing and a miss there. That's a big cut, good fastball, right over the heart of the plate. See if he can make an adjustment here with 2 strikes and find a way to have a quality of bat.
2, able to stay alive as he fouls one back. The active leader in career home runs in collegiate baseball with 59 now. Homered a week ago in the Sunday game, wasn't it? Wasn't it a week ago?
Yeah,
in South Carolina.
South Carolina
Yeah.
Sunday game.
0-2 pitch, popped it foul territory, third base side. They'll come take a look, but that's going to drop just the other side of the netting on the very edge of the dugout.
Oh, just out of reach of the.
Oh no, he got
it.
He got it.
And that's why you never give up, right?
That's exactly right. The kid to the right gave up, but not the one that got the baseball. He's running with that, just proud of that ball.
Actually, the kid that didn't get it's wearing a Daly jersey, it looks like, number 3.
Oh, 2 pitch, misses high, 1-2. $12 runs on 11 hits for Clemson, no errors. 3 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for LaSalle. They play with 1 out, runner at second here in the bottom of the 6th. 1-2, misses away, 2-2.
Nice job so far for Ty. Got himself in a hole, 0-2, and worked it back even.
Beck sets, checks that runner at second, and his 2-2 offering swung on. Did he get a piece of it? Oh, he said he missed it. Daly thought he got a piece of it. The ball bounced out of the glove, and finally Novak tags him out.
Yeah, tough break right there. I think Ty was convinced that the ball, he fouled it off.
So then it goes a strikeout, swinging for Daly, and 2 away. He's had both strikeouts by Clemson hitters in this game as Ty Daly. But here is Jason Foltz. He has walked in all 3 plate appearances, and his first pitch swinging flies to right. Backing is growing. He will settle under it and make the grab to retire the side. So the 1-out double by Dillard doesn't lead to anything for Clemson there in the bottom of the 6th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left. We'll head off to the 7th. 12-3 in favor of Clemson on the Clemson Athletic Network.
Hey fans, due to weather and field conditions, there will be no kids run the bases after today's game. Thank you for your understanding.
Clemson leads it over LaSalle's. We'll head off to the 7th, and we'll get a new pitcher on here for Clemson. Joe Allen going to get his first work in a while.
And number 24, Joe Allen. Right-hander, 6'3", 220-pound senior from Hampton Falls, New Hampshire. Coming in, making his 5th appearance of the season. All in relief, has 5 1/3 innings of work. Giving up 3 hits, 1 run. Run was earned. 0 walks and 7 strikeouts. Opponents only batting .158 against Allen. Has 2 wins on the season, no losses, 1 save, and an earned run average of 1.69. Mr. Joe Allen, another one of these captains of this Tiger Ball Club.
So Bennett, in his inning of work, strikes out the side. He did it on 16 pitches, 10 of them for strikes. Don't forget the South Carolina Education Lottery, a proud partner of Clemson Athletics since 2002. More than 197,000 lottery-funded scholarships and grants have been awarded to Clemson students. And since 2002, the lottery has raised more than $9 billion to support education in the state. Learn more at sceducationlottery.com. So Allen will have to face 8-9-1. His first pitch to Austin Rue is a ball, 1-0. Rue, the 2-run homer in the second, then struck out looking in the fourth. Breaking ball for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1.
That's what you're going to see from Joe Allen. He's about 90% sliders or cutters, whatever you want to call it, but he's done a nice job in the last 2 years.
1-1 came up and in, almost hit Rue.
Yeah, I think
around the chin.
That was the pitch. Got away from him a bit, but see if he can attack the strike zone like we saw Brendan Bennett do last inning.
2-1 pitch, swing and a miss.
That's the pitch. It looks so good for so long. The ball just darts out of the zone. It's really late movement.
2-2 from Allen. That's called strike 3. Rue had no idea what to do with that pitch.
Yeah, Joe kind of recreated himself too last year, coming into last year, and he hadn't had the success maybe he had wanted, but again, just talking about never giving up, and just a guy, like I said, he's emerged as a captain of this team, and just his energy he brings when he's not pitching in the bunker. Him and Ty Marshall, some of these veteran guys, is really keeps this team in focus.
9 strikeouts now by the Clemson staff here in 6 1/3 as Perez steps in. Daniel Perez, the left-handed hitting second baseman, takes a pitch away for a ball. Perez has walked and struck out swinging in this game. Tapper past the mound, second baseman Purify charges and throws over to first in time.
Nice job by Jared coming in and making sure the ball didn't play him and getting the hop that he wanted. Good stretch by Luke Gaffney over there too.
2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 7th for LaSalle. A.J. Giuliano will step in. 0 for 2 with a walk. He walked in the second. Allen's first pitch to the leadoff man. Misses in. Ball 1. Early on in the season, and we know Joe Allen is going to work a lot. I mean, he's going to work a lot when we get to conference play. 1-0 pitch. Misses outside. 2-0. So because the way that Clemson's been playing coming into this game now 14-1, there just hadn't been a lot of times where you can use Joe. 2-0. Breaking ball strike, 2-1.
We talked last night, like you said, just the success the team's been having, and hasn't been a situation for it, but we knew Joe was going to pitch today. He needs to get that work in before we start a new week.
2-1. Finds the outside corner, 2-2. Two pitch, misses away. 3-2.
Ball didn't miss by much. Went back to the off-speed pitch.
Payoff pitch, grounded to third along the line. Foul ball though, as it kicked foul. Dillard picked it up, went through with the throw, but Craig Barron right on top of it to call it foul.
Yep, that's why I don't play umpire. Jay Dillard just coming in, making the play. I think he did take a little bit off the throw once he heard Craig Barron call it foul, but nice job by Joe Allen throwing strikes. See if he can win the at-bat, get us back in that dugout.
Juliana will settle back in. And again, the 3-2 offering misses in. Almost hit him.
And came back with a fastball. Joe a little disappointed with his outcome there, but ball missing in. See if we can get this guy.
It'll be the 7th walk by Tiger pitching here today. Bell walked 3 and Brown walked 3.
Pretty uncharacteristic as well so far in the season. Tigers coming into today.
In steps Swain, takes a breaking ball outside for a ball, 1-0.
It's 31 walks on the season through 15 games today. It's just pretty much 2 a game.
Swain, the home run solo shot in the first that at that time put LaSalle up 1-0. There goes the runner from first. The pitch is a strike. Savoy was coming up to throw and just never got a good grip on it. No throw, stolen base.
Yeah, Giuliani got a really good jump too, so he's going to have trouble throwing him out. I think that might have been why Savoy just maybe tried to rush it just a bit, but see if we can't leave that runner in scoring position there.
1-1, breaking ball strike.
Yeah, these hitters get so frustrated because it looks like that ball is out of the zone, and then in the very last second just darts in. Really good pitch by Joe Allen.
One-two, breaking ball, missed high.
Maybe a bit out of the zone, but that's too close to take with 2 strikes.
Two-two, swing and miss, got away from the catcher. Savoy goes all the way to the backstop. There will be no throw. So that will actually go as a strikeout, and then I believe a wild pitch that will allow the runner to reach first and also the runner at second to move to third. It extends the inning.
Yeah, tough break for sure. Just getting the strikeout there and not able to handle it. And you can tell Nate's bummed himself, but it's a good situation for Joe Allen, right? He's going to be pitching in high leverage situations, so you've got first and third, 2 outs. See if he can't get his hitter.
Oh, and they're going to call it a pass ball. Not going to call it a wild pitch. I thought it bounced up there, to be honest.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it bounced or if he just missed it. Yep. Sometimes when you're trying to frame the outside part of the plate, just miss it.
So in steps Groen. Carter Groen takes the first pitch for a ball, 1-0. They're on the corners, 2 outs. There goes the runner from first, swing and a miss, throw down and right on the money to purify and out. Is going to be Swain. I mean, you can't get a better throw than that right there.
Right on the money.
So Swain caught stealing, 2-4 to end the inning. Nothing doing for LaSalle there in the top of the 7th. Time for us to stretch here at Doug Kingsmore. 12-3. A run would end it here in the bottom of the 7th for our Tigers. Back after this on the Clemson Athletic Network. Strike him out, throw him out. Oh, Gracie, I need a stretch. Let your daddy stretch. Broadcasters need to get up and stretch during the 7th inning stretch here at Doug Kingsmore. So we'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Support your Clemson student athletes by joining Iptate today. Donation levels start as low as $75, and membership comes with a host of great benefits. You can join online now at clemsontigers.com/Iptate to learn how you can become a part of the power behind the paw. Jackson Moore to lead things off here for Clemson. The bottom of the 7th, leading at 12-3. Moore 1 for 3, a double and a run scored in the 2nd. And the lefty takes the first pitch from the lefty back outside. Ball 1. Moore's also flied to center and he's flied to left in this game. (1-0). That missed up and in and went all the way to the backstop.
And Novak didn't even get a glove on that one. Thankfully, home plate umpire Ryan Clark able to get out of the way. That's the one that the umpires have nightmares about.
2-0, breaking ball away. 3-0.
See if the Tigers can find a way to get that leadoff guy on. See if, like you said, one run could end this ball game. See if we can't find a way. Like we're down a run.
(3-0) from Beck. This is high. Walked him on 4 straight.
There you go.
The 7th walk given up by LaSalle pitching here, and the 34th walk in this series.
How about that? That's we'll take those free 90s. And the walks and hit by pitches, stolen bases.
So in steps Purify. He's had himself another great offensive day at the plate. Takes the first pitch for a strike, 0-1. Started with a walk and a run scored in the 1st. Then he had a sac fly RBI in the 2nd, 3-run homer in the 3rd, singled and scored in the 5th. Pitch outside, 1-1 to the Clemson second baseman. (1-1), breaking ball, he took it low.
Yeah, nice job laying off that pitch. He's trying to get a ball he can do some damage with, and just seeing that pitch down, break a ball, it starts down, it's going to continue to break out of the zone. It's a good take.
(2-1), that is lined into right center field for a base hit. Moore going to stop at second. It is a 3-hit day for Purify, and all 5 at-bats for him have been productive.
See if we can't manufacture a run here. Nobody out, first and second.
12th base hit in the game for Clemson. So here's McClatty. McClatty 2 for 4. 2 RBIs and a run scored. A stolen base as well. Pitch to McClatty, misses up. Ball 1. McClatty singled in a run with 2 outs in the 2nd. Singled in a run with 2 outs and later scored in the 5th. (1-0) pitch, called strike, 1-1.
Mind that take. Again, just trying to have a patiently aggressive approach at the plate. Get a pitch he can handle.
1-1, that is lined out to left. Left fielder dives, can't make the grab. But everybody had to hold as the throw comes back in and it kind of bounces off the third baseman awkwardly and goes over to the first baseman, first base side of the mound. They're loaded up, nobody out for Savoy.
Yeah, he got a fastball on the outside part of the plate and he just drove it. Giuliano had a tough time. The ball was hit pretty hard, but just kind of like those balls in center field we talked about yesterday, just trying to figure out the balls on a line, trying to figure out exactly how hard it was. So he was lucky to keep that ball in front of him.
Yes,
he kind
he
of
was.
dove and caught it on a short hop. So stage is set here to try to end it.
So a walk, back-to-back singles are loaded up. Infield comes in. And the home plate umpire is
Going to be
a
a
ball, yeah,
Yep.
to the pitcher.
pitch clock violation on
Yeah.
the pitcher. Second time we've seen that this weekend.
1-0 the count to Savoy. So the run that will win it is at third with nobody out. 12-3 Clemson here bottom of the 7th. We play the 10-run rule. The 1-0 going to miss high and outside of Savoy. It's 2-0.
Yeah, LaSalle's going to bring the infield in, just trying to avoid that run from scoring. And Nate Savoy's got a job to do. We practice this all the time, kind of a Toto Inada situation, all or nothing. He's trying to drive that ball through the hole.
2-0 delivery, swung on and fouled back to the netting. 2-1.
Yeah, good cut there. You've seen Savoy do it his last at bat, just drove that ball in the gap for a double. Right down the line, wasn't it?
Yes. Yep. 2-1 pitch. Outside, 3-1. No place to put Savoy. Another one out of the zone.
Take an
Not only
RBI.
scores a run, but ends it.
I'll take an RBI. Ball 4 walk-off.
Lefty Beck sets and delivers, and it's in the air, center. Center fielder just going to watch that one sail out of here. How about a grand slam off the batter's eye to end it? That was a blast, my friends.
No doubter about it. Swain in center field just turning around and watching it just bang off the batter's eye, and that's what we call ringing the bell. He went down and got that pitch too. That ball is a fastball down in the zone, and it's the second walk-off 10-run rule we've had this week.
The 4th in the last 5 games.
No doubt fashion as well, but how about that?
Savoy 5th-round tripper ends the game, a grand slam. 6 RBIs in the game for Savoy.
Have a day, my friend.
So Clemson wins at 16-3. How about the series? 14-1 on Friday in 7, 6-4 in the first game of the doubleheader yesterday, then 16-4 in the second game of the doubleheader, and 16-3 here to wrap it all up Sunday against 52 runs in 4 games. That is offensive production. So the Tigers a big win here on this Sunday, and Savoy ends it with a grand slam to dead center field. 16-3, our final. We'll come back. We'll take you through postgame. Do that after this, the Clemson Athletic Network.